California Governor Gavin Newsom is looking to become the new face of Democratic resistance to President-elect Trump's second term. He's calling for another special session to Trump-proof California's policies, asking for $25 million to fund anticipated legal battles against the administration. Critics are saying this isn't about protecting California, but about Newsom's own political ambitions, possibly teeing up a presidential run in 2028. Sacramento-based Democratic strategist Stephen Mavilio telling The Hill, quote, he's been running for president for 2 years. Joining me now, California Republican Chairwoman Jessica Millan Patterson. And Jessica, let's talk about this because Gavin Newsom is trying to push forward these policies for a California electorate that made it very clear in November that it's moving to the right.
We sure did. And not only did President Trump have this decisive win across the country and in every single battleground state, but right here in deep blue California, he shifted every single congressional district, every single legislative district here in California, and even fully flipped to the Trump presidency several key counties around our state. What's happening with Governor Newsom is, is incredible tone deaf to what is going on in what Californians are living every day.
We have a couple of maps, and I want to show you and our viewers this. It really illustrates the story of California and how much it has changed in the last 4 years. And these are the counties that you just mentioned and the shift from blue to red between 2020 and 2024. It is astonishing if you look at this. President Trump performed better in 78% of California counties than he did in 2020. At the same time, Harris underperformed Joe Biden's 2020 results in 57 of 58 counties. What I find astonishing about this, Jessica, is that she was a California senator. She was an attorney general in California. And this is what happened.
It's the ultimate rejection of what California Democrats have championed. We've seen the issues that are most important, not just to Americans, but to Californians. California Democrats have failed them on. When we look at the economy, when less than 15% of Californians can afford the median home price, that is a problem. This past year, we had Proposition 36 on the ballot. This was going back and fixing a championed Democrat policy of decriminalizing crime here in California. Every single county in our state voted in favor of Proposition 36 to fix the Democrats' mistake. You combine that with what we have seen on the spending side and what Governor Newsom is trying to do with his new policies to Trump-proof California. We spent $24 billion on our homeless crisis, and we don't know where any of that money went. On high-speed rail, we spent over $100 billion more than what was approved by California voters in 2008. We went from a nearly $100 billion surplus a couple years ago to a $68 billion deficit here in California. And California Democrats like Kamala Harris, like Gavin Newsom, have championed all of these policies that Californians are saying we are not doing it right.
You know what, Jessica, I lived and worked for 7 years in San Francisco when Gavin Newsom was mayor, and I interviewed him, and I've met him here in New York as well. And I'm just so surprised by the tone deafness of these moves by him, in particular when you look at how the George Gascon, Los Angeles, DA, gone. Alameda, Oakland, California, Alameda County, the DA, the mayor in Oakland, gone. London Breed, the mayor of San Francisco, gone. All of these people voted out in November, and still these policies. I just had to throw that in because it just shocks me. I want to bring in Joe Pinion into this conversation.
Yeah, Chairwoman, obviously always good to have you here. I mean, I think you highlight all of the things that most of us around the country see, and yet at the same time, we saw President Trump carry all 7 swing states, and yet we're looking at the slimmest House majority since World War II. We see some of that in California, President Trump improving by 78% in the state, and yet at the same time, not being able to carry some of those 3 seats that we lost. So talk to us a little bit about the work you see ahead in California to take some of those Trump voters and turn them into Republican voters and rebuilding that coalition there in California.
Well, I think the most important thing that we've seen over the last 5 years, and, we had picked up 5 seats in the last 2 cycles, but these are incredibly close seats, seats that we won by 300 votes, seats that we won by 500 votes. And this time around, lost by less than 200 votes, lost by less than 600 votes. So we're seeing these seats that move back and forward, but these are incredibly Democrat-heavy districts. And at the same time, we picked up legislative seats. We won a legislative seat here in California that is a Democrat registration advantage of 16 points. Another one that's a Democrat registration advantage of 14.5 points. What we see first is that they'll come with us on the ideas. In 2020, they were with us on the ideas or the statewide ballot initiatives 62% of the time. In 2022, it was 66% of the time. By 2024, California voters were with the California Republican Party's position 89% of the time. So they'll come with us on the ideas first, then they'll vote for our candidates, then you'll see the move in registration, which has been fantastic over the last several years. We have registered over 928,000 new Republicans since I became chair in February of 2019, and we're continuing that movement across our state.
Well, and on a national basis, Jessica, that is what really helped propel Donald Trump, among many other factors, to win in November, was the fact that they were able to register so many new Republicans and basically switch people out of the Democrats or independents into the GOP. Before you go, really quick, immigration. Newsom is also reportedly considering this plan that would shield illegal immigrants from President-elect Trump's deportation efforts. Politico got this draft memo. It's called Immigrant Support Network Concept. They're proposing regional hubs. You connect at-risk individuals, families, communities with systems like legal services, school, labor unions, local governments. I spoke with North Carolina Congressman Greg Murphy about this yesterday. Watch what he told me.
Newsom has created his own little deficit spending debacle of a state. I believe there's $68 billion in debt now. And what he wants to do is basically break the law. We saw this long time ago when states didn't want to integrate and they wanted to continue with segregation. These are laws. These are national laws. He doesn't get to pick and choose which one he gets. Yeah, no, we're not going to send in the National Guard, but you know what? They get a lot of federal money. And if they want to have their state dry up even quicker because of his nasty policies, I don't think he'd last long. And this time when the recount comes, he's gone.
Jessica, what do you make of that?
Well, I think that there's going to be a lot of legal battles on this, and he is absolutely right in the way we're watching spending here in California, whether it's the $24 billion that's unaccounted for on the homeless crisis, $36 billion that was spent on EDD fraud, on unemployment fraud here in California, the $100 billion we've spent over budget on high-speed rail. Californians are looking for transparency. They want accountability in their government, and we are not seeing that from Gavin Newsom's plans.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. Before you go, the mayor of Mendota, California, this is Victor Martinez. He switched parties from Democrat to Republican just last week. He says Sacramento policies and the Democrats are not giving families in his city a shot at any American dream. He has been mayor since 2022, but he said it's time for valley communities like Mendota to get the opportunity and rural representation that they deserve. You wrote an op-ed about Republicans making a comeback in your state. Tell us more.
Well, this is something that we're clearly seeing here in California. I have said for a long time that the road back to sanity in California is through the Latino community, and we are seeing that. When we look at these Central Valley numbers, we see this movement of Latinos that are becoming Republicans. We had Senator Maria Alvarado Gil, who switched from the supermajority Democrat Party to Republican. We saw our former Senate Majority Leader, Gloria Romero, become a Republican. This is happening all over our state, and it is because California Democrats may have shown up in my community and the communities around our state, but what they haven't done is made our lives better. And we are waking up to it, and that's why we are seeing so many Latinos that are moving over.
Jessica Millan Patterson, thank you so much for your time. Please come back soon.
Great to be with you.
All right.